The return of the divine masculine is the return of true leadership. It's about restoring natural order. And when the divine masculine is absent, what is in its place is tyranny, domination, control, manipulation. A ruler that rules from fear. When the divine masculine returns, he restores order, his structure, his boundaries, his containment, his presence, his purpose, his provision, his protection are all embodied. So this return is really about the embodiment of the divine masculine. It's symbolized in the movie The Lion King, when Simba is exiled from the Pride Lands. He goes on his vision quest. He goes on his spiritual journey and remembers who he is. It's when he comes back, when he returns to the Pride Land, he is embodying the divine masculine. He doesn't stay hiding in exile. Hiding in exile would be this passivity that's so prevalent in the spiritual community, bypassing, avoiding responsibility. But the divine masculine, when it's embodied, it does not avoid life. He takes responsibility. He returns back to the ordinary world, for it's only he that can restore natural order through his leadership. He comes back with purpose, embodying power. His presence is felt. He doesn't dominate. He's devoted. He has no need to control because he embodies power. He leads with love and serves the whole. So just like in the movie, when he comes back, he's restoring natural order. There's healing that happens. They show this very quickly in the movie at the end, the transformation of the Pride Land. But when it was under Scar's rule, it became barren, lifeless. You could see how the rivers dried up and all the vegetation was dead. It was very desert-like. And then there was a transformation at the end of the movie that showed the Pride Land being so lush, abundant, alive. This is really symbolizing the restoring of natural order and the harmony of the divine masculine and feminine. This happens pretty fast in the movie. It's just a transition. But through the embodiment of the divine masculine, it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that takes time. It's gradual. And to ground it in your life, it doesn't need to be some sort of empire that you are returning to. It's not something grand like that. It could be so ordinary. such as your family life, that when the divine masculine is passive, it feels absent. When one is in the distorted masculine, so dominating, controlling, manipulating, then it's as if the divine masculine is absent. It's really just the distortion, the passivity, the lack of decision, the lack of vision, the lack of purpose, the lack of leadership, the lack of guidance, service, protection, provision, the lack of containment. The lack of clarity, the lack of integrity. These qualities that are really the embodiment of the divine masculine, when they aren't embodied, they feel as if they're absent. And this is what is depicted in the movie as the absence of the king. When the king returns, he restores natural order. There's harmony. True leadership returns. In the movie, Scar's not a leader. It's more of a ruler, a tyrant. A ruler imposes rules that are self-serving. But a leader brings order that serves the whole. And this is felt when Simba returns. They feel a true leader. Now, Simba's not just a leader because he is the son of Mufasa, the previous king. It's not because he's next in line that makes him a king. But it's actually because he did the inner work. He went on his journey and he remembered who he truly was, who he truly is. His kingship is inherent to who he is. Through remembering who he is, that was just the beginning. But it's when he returns back to the Pride Land that he embodies his true self. He embodies the king that he is, the leader that he is. It's when he comes back that the Pride Land feels his presence. They feel that he's embodying the power of his true nature. His vision includes all in the Pride Land. They can feel his protection. They feel supported by his stability. It's grounded, rooted in his realization. So it's not merely just a realization that he's had. That was just the beginning. But now he returns back to the ordinary world. And he's living that realization. He's living as the king that he realized. So this is about embodiment, expression, what I call living truth. When the divine masculine is absent, meaning when it's not embodied, then there's chaos. You see this in the movie. It's chaotic. When a ruler, a tyrant, reigns, he dominates out of fear, uses fear to manipulate the people, creates more division. Doesn't have a vision. May have rules, but they're self-serving. Controls. Still hungry, seeking power. Doing anything to protect his position. Like I said, this is really the distorted masculine. So when the true king comes back, when the true king returns, meaning when the true king is embodied, then there's transformation, just like in that last scene in the movie. It's representing the transformation of the land, which is symbolic for the transformation of your outer experience. Because you've transformed, the external transforms. And it only transforms through your embodiment. The realization itself won't transform what you call your life. It's only through integration that realization is now embodied and expressed. And it's in the embodiment and expression that your life transforms. And like I said, this doesn't need to be some empire. It could be your family. When you embody the divine masculine, the divine feminine feels safe in your presence. You bring order to the distorted, feminine, which is chaotic. Now that she feels safe, she can relax. She can rest. She opens. She trusts. In her opening, she becomes more receptive. She starts trusting her own intuition. She trusts the leadership. She trusts life. She starts embodying her own feminine essence. Now connected to her intuition. Now opening, feeling the flow of life in her. She births beauty, expressing her feminine essence. Nurturing those around her. So she benefits from your embodiment. And this is that last scene showing the transformation. It's really showing the divine union, which is experienced as harmony of the whole. If you're ready to start embodying the divine masculine, then I invite you to join me in living truth.